The filter-free diary. Uh,
Good morning. It's a little after 7 in the morning. I woke up. I'm wide awake now. Dreams do that. I have a lot of crazy dreams. And when I was little, they terrified the fuck out of me. But now that I'm big, I'm not. I just keep translating them. That's the thing I do. Dreams always fascinated me. And again, I don't believe in random. But at no point did it ever occur to me that a story could be random. Think about that one for a second. Have you ever heard a random story? It's not good. But a dream is not random. Because, there's anyways. So I had one of those. I'm not gonna talk about it. Well, I have to take some time to translate it before I can talk about it. But what I actually want to talk about today, this morning, because this was in the dream too, weirdly, but this is the part I understood, is English. English the language? Yes, English the language. Unless you want to talk about the class in school. No? Okay. I'll talk about language. So, yeah. There's something like super important happening right now with English that you might be aware of on like a subconscious level, but do you really understand what it means? Probably not. So I thought we'd talk about it. Well, that, and it's kind of the precursor before I can tell you so many more things, because if you don't understand the language you're using, how can you really understand the words you're using? That's the thing. Anyways, okay, so English. Did you know almost, not every, but almost every country in the world has got English speakers? Not as a first language, maybe not even as a second language, but as like a commercial language. I'm sorry. What I mean is, English has become so popular in the world today because of the American Empire that more than just America speaks English. And more than just Great Britain speaks English. And honestly, it's not, this is going to sound really weird, it's not the definitions of the words that matter in English. Well, it does if you want to use it to communicate. But what actually matters in English is the letter combinations. Go figure. Okay, so I'm going to try and explain this in a very rational way. Try. So, if you believe religion, this is not about religion. If you believe religion, then a long time ago, everybody in the world spoke the exact same language. And it makes sense if you think about it. If a species is evolving the ability to communicate, then is rock and is stick, right? And every time someone says you're like, oh, they're talking about the rock. And if they go you're like, oh, that's a stick, right? And so that's how it could be possible that when communication develops, everyone's speaking the exact same language. Well, we don't do that anymore. Someone cracked the mirror and it splintered into all kinds of fragments and suddenly became rock. Who knows why? But language did its thing where it branched out. And honestly, it was supposed to do that. It doesn't... How can I say this? Evolution doesn't occur when everything's going smooth. Does that make sense? Language cannot evolve if is always rock and is always stick. Why would they change? Why would they evolve? Why would they grow? They wouldn't. They would stay the same. And then they would stagnate and die. So language fractured so it could grow, which is great because everything on this planet is supposed to grow. And the thing is, it fractured into the Romance languages, the Germanic languages, the Oriental languages. I don't know what their root is. But it branched into all these different languages, and we learned to make all these different sounds. And did you know that when a kid is born, a baby is born, vocally they have the ability to make all the sounds? I forget how many there are. I want to say there's 50 letter sounds, but I can't quite remember. But once they specialize in their culture's language, they lose the ability to make the sounds that their culture's language doesn't use. So tzatziki with that T and that S, that's not an English sound. English people don't generally make that. We generally say tzatziki because we don't do tzatziki. Because is that Greek? I think that's a Greek sound. So anyways, oh fuck, it's taking so long to say all this shit. Guess we'll have to continue in a little bit. Bye.